What's up, you guys? I'm Tony Metro, and today we are going to build the best possible rotation out of this list using only $15. Okay, so normally my videos are covering trade rumors and free agent signings, but I made 3 videos this week and I had to trash 2 of them. And that's because Ken Rosenthal's sources have not exactly been the most accurate lately. First, we got the news George Springer signed with the Blue Jays. So I rushed to make a video for that. And the very next morning, I wake up to the news that the Blue Jays also signed Michael Brantley. So what do? I take down the George Springer video and I make a Michael Brantley video to add on to it. Then, as soon as I get done mashing those 2 videos together, I find out that, well, Michael Brantley's not going to the Blue Jays. And then I came across this picture of John Schmaltz on MLB Network trying to build the best possible rotation using these starting pitchers. So it looks to me, based on some of the hats that these players are wearing, that this was probably done just before last season. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the starting pitchers on this list missed all or parts of last season or are injured heading into this season. So what I decided to do was to create my own list based on last season's results and future outlook. Now, some of it may look the same and there's definitely going to be some newcomers, but let's run through my new list. So in the top tier, we have Jacob deGrom, Garrett Cole, Shane Bieber, Walker Buehler, and Trevor Bauer. In the $4 tier, we have Luis Castillo, Yu Darvish, Lucas Giolito, Jack Flaherty, and Max Fried. In the $3 tier, we have Zach Greinke, Jose Barrios, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Zach Wheeler, and Blake Snell. Going down to the $2 tier, we have Tyler Glasnow, Aaron Nola, German Marquez, Sean Mania, and Madison Bumgarner. And going down to the $1 tier, we have Dylan Bundy, Joe Musgrove, Nathan Eovaldi, Sandy Alcantara, and Mitch Keller. Now, I've seen some people online say, oh, I'll just take Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer, and Walker Buehler, and then go with 2 openers. But in this one, I'm going to commit to going with a full 5-man rotation. So let's get started and build our rotation with our $15 budget. So starting with the $5 tier, you already know where I'm going. I'm picking my boy Jacob deGrom, the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. Now, this is a tough one. I love Shane Bieber. I think he's the 2nd best pitcher in baseball. But there's just no way I could pick anyone else but Jacob deGrom. For his career since 2014, Jacob deGrom has a 2.61 ERA. And the difference between that and his fielding independent pitching is very small. It's 2.75, showing that he really is as dominant as he is. And in almost 1,200 career innings, Jacob deGrom has a 1.50 ERA plus. He won back-to-back Cy Youngs in 2018 and 2019 and finished 3rd in NL Cy Young voting in 2020. He was also the Rookie of the Year in 2014 and has been an All-Star 3 different times. Now, I know I may be biased being a Mets fan, but there is no one I would rather have pitching in a big game than Jacob deGrom. Okay, so that's $5 of my budget right there. We need to get 4 more pitchers and we have $10 to spend. So where should I go next? So taking a look at the $4 tier, there's some interesting names. There's Luis Castillo, Yu Darvish, Jack Flaherty, and of course Max Fried. All of them great pitchers. But I'm going to have to go with Lucas Giolito. After a slow start to his career, Lucas Giolito is living up to his hype as a top prospect. Giolito had his breakout season in 2019 with a 3.41 ERA over 176 innings. Giolito also had 228 strikeouts, which was good for an 11.6 strikeout per 9 innings. And in that season, Giolito was named to his first All-Star team and finished 6th in American League Cy Young voting. And things continued to get better for Giolito in 2020. He threw his no-hitter and continued to pitch well with a 3.48 ERA. Personally, if he's not already there, I think Giolito is becoming one of the top 10 pitchers in Major League Baseball. So we have the first 2 guys at the top of our rotation with Jacob deGrom and Lucas Giolito. We've spent $9, which means we need 3 more pitchers with $6 remaining. So I could go with another $4 pitcher and round it out with 2 from the $1 selection, but I think I'm going to stick with the $3 tier and go with Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler began his career with the New York Mets, and I had a first-hand experience in watching him grow over all of those years. In the early part of his career, Zach Wheeler missed quite a bit of time due to injury, including Tommy John surgery. But after finally returning in the second half of 2018, Zach Wheeler completely transformed his career. Since 2018, over 448 innings pitched, Zach Wheeler has a 3.53 ERA. And his FIP is even lower at 3.34, suggesting that the Mets and the Phillies play terrible defense, which I can attest to. And in 2020, over 71 innings pitched, Zach Wheeler had a 2.92 ERA, the lowest of his career. This guy flies under the radar. I think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he doesn't get a whole lot of respect in the league. I was really disappointed when the Mets didn't re-sign him, and even more disappointed when he went to the Philadelphia Phillies. And I know that Aaron Nola was the anchor of that rotation, but right now, my money would be on Zack Wheeler being the best pitcher in that starting rotation. And at $3 on this list, I think you're getting great value for Wheeler, who is equally comparable to any of the guys on the $4 tier of this list. Okay, so we have the first three pitchers in our starting rotation in Jacob deGrom, Lucas Giolito, and Zack Wheeler, and we've spent $12. That means we have $3 left to round out the last two spots of the rotation. Now, this one was a little tricky for me. I really like Tyler Glasnow, and German Marquez is one of the most underrated pitchers in baseball, but I gotta go with Madison Bumgarner. Couple reasons here. Number one, we need a lefty in this rotation. We can't have all right-handed pitchers, and Madison Bumgarner perfectly fits that slot. Number two, Bumgarner is a big game pitcher. Bumgarner has the lowest ERA in World Series history. We saw Bumgarner put the Giants on his back in 2010, 2012, and 2014. And it's not just limited to the World Series. Bumgarner also dominated the Mets in the 2016 wildcard game. I don't want to talk about that one. As for the regular season, for his career, Madison Bumgarner has a 3.20 ERA. He's never won a Cy Young Award, but let's be real, he definitely could have. He's actually been voted in the top 10 for Cy Young Award on 4 different occasions and once at number 11. Now, we know Mad Bum is not the same pitcher that he was at the early part of his career, but I'm still going with him. The guy is shut down come playoff time, and he hits nukes. A lot of teams wouldn't go to their fourth starting pitcher in a playoff matchup, but if it's Madison Bumgarner, you better believe he's getting a start for my team come playoff time. Okay, so we got our lefty in our starting rotation in Madison Bumgarner. Now we have $1 left and we have one spot, so we have to go down to the $1 tier. Now, there's a few different ways we can go with this final pitcher. Joe Musgrove has a ton of hype around him right now. Nathan Eovaldi's been a great starting pitcher in the past, but I'm going with Dylan Bundy. As a fifth starter, I'm looking for a guy that's going to stay healthy, give me 30 starts per year, and go out there every 5 days. And Dylan Bundy fits that bill perfectly. In 2017, Bundy made 28 starts. In 2018, he made 31, and in 2019, he made 30. Now, his ERA is nothing to marvel at. It's usually in the mid-4s and was even as high as 5.45 in 2018. But in 2020, Dylan Bundy made 11 starts, which was basically the norm for starting pitchers, and had a 3.29 ERA. Now, he's not the flashy, sexy pick like some of the other guys, but for a fifth starting pitcher in a rotation, he's exactly what I'm looking for. Bundy takes the ball every 5 days, eats some innings from that bullpen, and gives the rotation length. So that rounds out my rotation. I'm at exactly $15. We have Jacob deGrom as our number 1. Then we have Lucas Giolito right behind him. After that, we have Zack Wheeler. Then we have Madison Bumgarner. And rounding it out is Dylan Bundy. So I want to hear from you guys now. Give me your best rotation in the comment section below. Let's make this into a little bit of a competition. The person with the most amount of likes on their comment is going to get a shout out in my next video. But I promise it won't be better than mine. Thank you guys for watching. I have been your host, Tony Metro.